Thank you very much. This is Michael Blanton. I'm here at the Cape and Islands Democratic Council's Jefferson Jackson Annual Dinner, and I'm here with State Rep Tim Madden from Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and my late great area of Falmouth. Of course, Tim hails from Nantucket. Thank you very much for being here, Tim.
No, I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely.
It's a great event, huge turnout. Of course, Robert O'Leary's event kicked it off, and I think that's perfect because he's been a wonderful senator for us. And really, he deserves to move to the next step. It's time, and we're going to get a congressman from the Cape, and that's great. And I think Robert will do a terrific job for us. Huge turnout for his event, and I think that's wonderful. And then you just kind of go down from there. I see that Dan Wolf has a table. I'm sure I've seen Sheila Lyons will be around, and I think that's going to be a competitive race, and we'll get an excellent candidate out of there, and that's going to be an easy one for us to win. I think Rob's is going to be a very tough race. There's going to be a lot of money that comes in from out of state for that congressional race, so we all have to get out there and show our support. But I think the Senate seat's going to be well filled. So we're going to have a good race, and whoever wins that race, I think, will win the general election and do a good job for us.
Those are some excellent insights. Yeah. It's definitely warming up to be a very, very vibrant, very energetic campaign season. Of course, you're not up in this particular year, so you've got an easy ride.
Yeah, I've got an easy ride. So, and with that, I'm going to use some of my energy to help some of my colleagues get reelected. You know, we've got a great Cape delegation. We work well. Each one of us brings something to the table. I usually bring the cookies, but everyone else brings something wonderful to the table, and we really work well together. So I'd hate to see that interrupted, and I think the Democrats really have a chance of picking up a seat. You know, with Jeff Perry gone, I think Lance Lambros is a very solid candidate, well known here on the Cape, and I think he'll do extremely well. He lost in a squeaker for his county commission seat, but I think you're going to see that it actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise for him. And so with that, I think that's a seat we can win as well.
That's exactly what Lance said, and during his acceptance speech or his kickoff campaign speech, those were exactly his comments, that there was really a veiled blessing in being passed over for that particular opportunity to be able to run and hopefully take back a Democratic stronghold, what had historically been a Democratic stronghold.
And that's excellent. I unfortunately wasn't able to make Lance's event. I had some other things to do, so great minds think alike, maybe. No.
Well, you've been exceedingly visible throughout the district, so we really appreciate seeing you at all the various events. And what kind of issues do you see, aside from the campaign, on Beacon Hill right now? What kind of issues are you waiting on into that you find to be particularly important for us here on the Cape?
Well, I think wastewater is going to be one of the major issues, and every town's struggling with it. And the bottom line is we got to do some regional things, but we can't turn our back on maybe some smaller projects that will deal with more of a local treatment of those issues. But with that, I think you're going to find that wastewater is probably the number one issue for the Cape, because we have to protect the reason that people came to the Cape, which is the water. I think it's the senator talked about it in his congressional comments that we're surrounded by it. And coming from islands, I know it. Falmouth by far has more estuaries and more marshlands probably than any other town on the Cape or the islands, and so it's an issue, and it's an expensive issue, and we've got to look at all the options, but we have to do something.
And it's a very difficult conundrum, trying to balance desired economic development with protection of the natural resources that make the Cape such an attractive and a wonderful place for us all to be.
Exactly. It's a balancing act, because people are always fearful if you improve or you sewer something, then consequently what you're going to have is more development. And a lot of people move to the Cape because they don't want to see skyscrapers. They want to have their yard. They want to be able to put their boat in their yard. They want to be able to enjoy the Cape for some of its open spaces. And we work very hard to protect the Cape and Islands and their open spaces. So we certainly don't want to do anything that's going to over-encourage development. We want it to be a comfortable balance.
And you've been doing an excellent job of doing that and representing us on Beacon Hill. So Tim Madden, again, thank you for being here tonight.
Doing what you're doing. Get the word out. Thank you.